A few years ago, the entire auto industry thought it already knew how the future would look. Tesla was dominating headlines. EV startups were appearing almost every month. Governments were talking about banning petrol cars completely, and companies across the world were pouring billions into batteries, charging stations, and electric platforms. It looked like the internal combustion engine was finally approaching its end. But then, out of nowhere, China revealed something that completely changed the conversation. Not a new battery, not a flying car, not some futuristic sci-fi concept. Instead, it was an engine, and not just any engine. Geely announced a hybrid engine with a claimed thermal efficiency of 48.41%, a number so extreme that engineers around the world immediately started debating whether this was the beginning of a completely new era for hybrid vehicles. Because if those numbers are real, this changes everything. Suddenly, the same technology many people believed was slowly dying may have just become one of the biggest threats to the EV revolution itself. And the most shocking part? This wasn't Toyota. It wasn't Honda. It wasn't Mercedes, BMW, or even Tesla. It was China. And behind this engine is a story that has some of the biggest car companies in the world quietly scrambling behind closed doors. Because what Geely may have really exposed is something the entire industry never expected. The world may have underestimated hybrids far too early, but that wasn't even the craziest part. Most people hear 48% thermal efficiency and instantly tune out because it sounds like complicated engineering language. But inside the auto industry, those numbers are terrifyingly important. In fact, some engineers spend their entire careers trying to improve efficiency by just 1 or 2%. That's how difficult this game really is. To understand why this shocked the industry so badly, you first have to understand how wasteful traditional engines actually are. When fuel burns inside a normal petrol engine, most of the energy doesn't even move the car forward. A massive amount disappears as heat. Some is lost through friction. Some escapes through the exhaust. Some vanish through vibration and mechanical losses. Older petrol engines were unbelievably inefficient. Many only converted around 20 to 25% of fuel energy into actual movement. Think about that for a second. That means nearly 3/4 of the fuel was basically being wasted. For decades, companies tried fixing this problem. Better combustion systems, turbochargers, fuel injection upgrades, lightweight materials, computer-controlled timing systems. Every generation has gotten slightly better. But eventually, engineers started believing they were approaching the limit of what combustion engines could realistically achieve. The end Toyota changed the game. When the Prius exploded onto the market, it completely transformed how people viewed hybrids. Suddenly, combining a petrol engine with an electric motor created something incredibly efficient. Toyota gradually pushed thermal efficiency past 40%, and at the time, many experts thought that was close to the ceiling. Honda also built a reputation for smooth, highly efficient engines. Japanese automakers became the undisputed kings of hybrid technology, and for years, nobody seriously expected China to challenge them at the engineering level. That assumption may have just collapsed, because jumping from roughly 40% to nearly 48.5% isn't a normal improvement. In engineering terms, it's massive. At extremely high efficiency levels, every tiny gain becomes exponentially harder to achieve. It's like trying to shave seconds off an Olympic world record. The closer you get to perfection, the more brutal each improvement becomes. That's why so many engineers reacted with disbelief. Some online analysts immediately questioned whether the number only applied under perfect lab conditions. Others argued that real-world performance matters far more than headline efficiency claims. But even critics admitted something important. If Geely is anywhere close to those numbers, the entire industry has a serious problem. Because suddenly, hybrids don't look outdated anymore. They look dangerous. And what Geely allegedly did inside this engine is what really has competitors worried. Because this wasn't one magical breakthrough. It was a combination of technologies working together, or almost like a living system. First came the compression ratio. Inside any engine, fuel and air get compressed before ignition. Higher compression usually means better efficiency, because more energy gets extracted from every explosion. But there's a problem. Push compression too far, and the engine starts knocking uncontrollably. That can destroy components very quickly. For years, engineers had to balance efficiency against reliability. But Geely reportedly developed an advanced combustion control system capable of handling extremely high compression while keeping the engine stable. That alone grabbed attention. But then, Engineers started looking deeper. The fuel injection system is reportedly incredibly precise. Older engines often sprayed excess fuel inefficiently, wasting energy during combustion. But Geely's system allegedly controls fuel delivery with microscopic accuracy, adjusting timing and volume almost instantly depending on driving conditions. It's almost like the engine is constantly recalculating itself in real time. And then came the biggest twist of all, artificial intelligence. Older engines followed relatively fixed operating patterns. Whether the car was climbing hills, stuck in traffic, or cruising on highways, adjustments were limited. But modern AI-assisted systems analyze enormous amounts of live data: acceleration input, battery charge, road conditions, traffic behavior, temperature, driving style. The system continuously adapts itself to remain inside its most efficient operating zone. That means the engine isn't just running, it's thinking. And that's exactly why some experts believe modern hybrids are evolving into something completely different from the hybrids people remember from 10 or 15 years ago. But even that isn't what shocked the public most. The number that really exploded online was the range claim: more than 2,000 kilometers. At first, many people assumed it was fake, because honestly, it sounds ridiculous. Even today, most EV companies celebrate when they achieve 500 or 600 kilometers of range. Yet suddenly, China was talking about hybrid vehicles capable of crossing entire regions on a single tank. That completely changed the conversation. Because range anxiety has always been one of the EV market's biggest weaknesses. People love electric cars in theory, but real-world concerns still exist. Long charging times, limited charging infrastructure, battery degradation fears, winter performance drops, apartment owners without chargers, and long-distance road trips that suddenly become complicated. That's why this new generation of ultra-efficient hybrids is getting so much attention. They remove many of those compromises. You still get electric assistance, you still reduce fuel consumption dramatically, but you also keep the convenience of petrol refueling. And for millions of consumers, that combination feels incredibly practical. The secret behind those massive range numbers comes from how hybrid systems recycle energy. A normal petrol car wastes braking energy as heat. Hybrid systems capture part of that lost energy and send it back into the battery through regenerative braking. That stored energy then helps power the vehicle later. So instead of constantly burning fresh fuel for every movement, the car is repeatedly reusing energy that older vehicles simply threw away. That's why hybrids can become astonishingly efficient in city traffic. And when paired with an extremely efficient engine, fuel consumption starts dropping to levels that sound almost unrealistic. Suddenly, people who were fully convinced EVs would dominate everything started asking uncomfortable questions. What if the future isn't fully electric after all? And that question is exactly why companies like Toyota and Honda are now under pressure. For decades, Japan dominated hybrid technology. Toyota practically became synonymous with hybrids. The Prius wasn't just a successful car. It became a symbol of fuel efficiency itself. Honda also built a legendary reputation for reliable engineering. Their engines became famous worldwide for balancing efficiency, smoothness, and durability. Japanese automakers spent decades refining hybrid systems, and for a long time, nobody seriously believed China could outperform them in this category. But the auto industry has changed faster than almost anyone predicted. China is no longer viewed as just a low-cost manufacturing hub. That image is disappearing very quickly. Today, Chinese companies are investing billions into research, AI systems, battery technology, software integration, advanced robotics, and automated manufacturing. And perhaps most importantly, they move incredibly fast. That speed is becoming one of their biggest weapons. Traditional automakers often spend years perfecting systems before launch. Japanese companies especially focus heavily on reliability testing. That cautious approach created some of the most dependable vehicles in automotive history. But in today's market, speed matters more than ever. Chinese companies iterate rapidly. They launch faster, they adapt faster, and they aggressively scale production. That combination is starting to scare legacy automakers, because the battle is no longer only about price. It's now about innovation speed. And once consumers begin associating innovation with another country, the power balance of the industry can shift frighteningly fast. That's why some analysts believe Toyota, Honda, Volkswagen, Ford, and others are quietly accelerating hybrid development programs again. Publicly, many companies still push EV-first messaging. But behind the scenes, the strategy may already be evolving. Because the world simply isn't transitioning to pure EVs as smoothly as many companies expected, and China seems perfectly positioned to exploit that gap. But Geely's engine may actually be part of something much bigger, because China's real strength isn't just one company, it's the ecosystem behind the companies. For years, China quietly built dominance across the entire EV and hybrid supply chain. Batteries, rare earth materials, electric motors, semiconductors, software systems, manufacturing infrastructure. Today, many global automakers still depend heavily on Chinese suppliers somewhere inside their production chain. And that creates a huge advantage, because when most of your components are built domestically, costs drop dramatically. Development speeds increase, supply chains become more stable, production becomes more flexible. Chinese companies can experiment faster because the supporting infrastructure already exists around them. That's one reason they've been able to push innovation so aggressively. Take batteries, for example. Battery costs remain one of the biggest barriers to affordable EV adoption worldwide. But China dominates battery manufacturing on an enormous scale. That allows Chinese companies to produce advanced vehicles at prices many competitors struggle to match. Now, combine that with improving hybrid systems. Suddenly, China gains leverage in both EVs and hybrids simultaneously. That's an incredibly dangerous position for competitors. Then there's software. Modern vehicles are no longer simple machines. They've become rolling computers packed with sensors, AI management systems, live diagnostics, connectivity tools, and intelligent power optimization. Chinese automakers are moving extremely aggressively into software integration, and younger consumers increasingly care about software experiences just as much as horsepower. That's another reason legacy companies are under pressure, because now they're fighting on multiple fronts at once: engineering, battery technology, software ecosystems, AI integration, manufacturing speed, cost control, and geopolitical influence. The auto industry has quietly transformed into a technology war, and China is rapidly becoming one of its biggest players. But the biggest controversy surrounding all this may be what it means for electric vehicles themselves. For years, governments and automakers pushed the idea that EVs were the inevitable future. And to be fair, EV adoption has grown rapidly. Tesla transformed the industry. BYD exploded globally. Countries began discussing petrol bans. Entire factories were redesigned around electric platforms. Billions upon billions were invested in batteries and charging infrastructure. But reality has proven more complicated. Charging networks still aren't evenly developed worldwide. Battery replacement fears remain. Electricity costs fluctuate. Cold weather still affects performance. And many consumers simply don't want to completely abandon fuel-powered convenience yet. That's why hybrids suddenly look incredibly attractive again. They feel like a middle ground, less fuel usage, long range, no charging panic, no dependence on infrastructure, and significantly lower emissions compared to older petrol vehicles. For developing countries, especially, that practicality matters enormously. In places where charging networks remain weak, hybrids may become the preferred transition technology for much longer than analysts originally predicted. And if that happens, companies betting everything on pure EVs could face difficult questions. Tesla sits right at the center of that conversation. Elon Musk repeatedly argued that hybrids are only temporary solutions. Tesla focused entirely on pushing the world toward fully electric transportation. But if ultra-efficient hybrids continue improving rapidly, they create a serious alternative. Consumers may begin asking a simple question: why deal with charging limitations if hybrids can deliver low running costs without sacrificing convenience? That doesn't mean EVs disappear. Far from it. But it may mean the future becomes far more mixed than people expected. And interestingly, Chinese companies like BYD may benefit regardless of which direction the market moves. Because BYD aggressively develops both EVs and hybrids, that flexibility could become incredibly valuable. Meanwhile, companies like Ford, Hyundai, and Volkswagen may now need to balance both technologies carefully. Continue EV expansion, but also avoid falling behind in advanced hybrid systems. That balancing act could define the next decade of the auto industry. And underneath all of this sits a much larger geopolitical shift, because the battle over cars is no longer just about transportation. It's about industrial power. The country dominating future vehicle technology could influence manufacturing, energy demand, supply chains, software ecosystems, semiconductor industries, and even global trade relationships. Cars are becoming part of a much larger technological competition, and right now China is moving frighteningly fast. That's why this Geely engine caused such a huge reaction. It symbolized something bigger than efficiency. It symbolized momentum. For years, America dominated EV headlines because of Tesla. Japan dominated the hybrid reputation because of Toyota and Honda. Germany dominated luxury engineering. But now China is simultaneously challenging all three areas at once, and that possibility is forcing the world to pay attention. Because if Chinese companies continue improving at this pace, the global auto hierarchy could look completely different within the next decade. Some experts believe we're entering a mixed technology era. Not pure EVs, not traditional petrol. Instead, a long battle between multiple technologies competing at the same time. Advanced hybrids, plug-in hybrids, full EVs, hydrogen projects, solid-state battery experiments, AI-managed combustion systems. The winner may not simply be whichever company builds the biggest battery. It may be whichever company delivers the fewest compromises to ordinary drivers. And that's exactly why this story matters so much. Because for the first time in years, the future of the auto industry suddenly looks uncertain again, and uncertainty changes everything. Now consumers are reconsidering hybrids, automakers are reevaluating strategies, governments may eventually rethink timelines, and engineers worldwide are racing to avoid falling behind. But perhaps the most shocking part of all this is how quickly perceptions changed. Just a few years ago, many people laughed at Chinese cars. They were viewed as cheap knockoffs, low-cost copies, inferior engineering. Now those same companies are leading conversations about batteries, AI integration, manufacturing speed, and potentially even hybrid efficiency breakthroughs. That transformation happened far faster than most competitors expected, and it may still only be the beginning. Because once innovation momentum starts building, it becomes incredibly difficult to stop, especially when massive government support, supply chain control, manufacturing capacity, and software expertise are all moving in the same direction. That's why some analysts believe the global auto industry is approaching one of its biggest turning points in decades. Not because EVs failed, but because the transition may become far more complicated than anyone predicted. And somewhere inside laboratories across Japan, Europe, and America, engineers are probably working around the clock trying to answer one terrifying question. What happens if China really cracks the next stage of hybrid technology first? Because if these efficiency gains continue improving, hybrids could remain dominant far longer than expected. Consumers may delay switching fully to EVs. Automakers may split investments across multiple technologies. And companies that bet too heavily in one direction could suddenly find themselves exposed. That's the danger of technological disruption. It rarely moves the way experts expect. The companies that look unstoppable one year can suddenly look vulnerable the next. And the industries people assume are dying sometimes come roaring back stronger than ever. That's exactly why Geely's engine became such a massive story. Not because it instantly destroys EVs, not because petrol cars suddenly take over again, but because it shattered the illusion that the future was already decided. Now the race is wide open again, and the winners of the next decade may not be who anyone expected. Maybe the future belongs to EVs. Maybe hybrids dominate longer than predicted. Maybe AI-managed engines create an entirely new category nobody saw coming. Right now, nobody truly knows. But one thing is becoming painfully clear. China is no longer following the global auto industry. It's helping reshape it. And what happens next could determine which companies survive the next generation of automotive warfare. Because the real battle was never just electric versus petrol. It was always about one thing. Whoever builds the most practical future wins.